What oftentimes is gonna happen, because you're such a freaking savage, badass sex machine, they're gonna see you and be like, yo, and they're gonna like, it's almost like staring into the sun, you're so damn hot. They can't do it for too long.
Welcome back to Kirill Smashes Acting. I'm Kirill, actor, educator, cat enthusiast. And today we're going to continue our study of character body for the actor by moving into part 2. Center of energy. Now, we talked in the last video about why character body is important. Just to recap, it's because it gives you a new way to look at the world and it helps you distinguish your body from your character's body. Because you and your character do not have the same background, you do not have the same body, so you do not have the same opinions. That's the important thing. So now we're going to start talking about how do we take this idea of character body and begin to apply it to our performance. Whenever you're reading a play and you're starting to think about what the character body might be, your imagination almost always starts from you and your body. But the more times that you read the play and really start thinking about what this character might experience in the world, what their points of view might be, and what body they might have, all of a sudden your imagination starts shifting from the body that you have to what the character's body might be. So what good does that do us? Today we're going to start by what I like to use as the first way to explore the character body, and that's called center of energy. A simple way to explain center of energy is to think about it this way. The center of energy is where your entire energy and body is led through. So some people have a center of energy in their head, and it causes them to lean their head forward and kind of walk through the world using their head as the guide. Some people have a center of energy in their chest, and you see it by big, large chests, kind of pull back shoulders. They don't always necessarily have to be a big person or a strong person, but if their center of energy is in their chest, it almost always kind of feels like they're showing off or they're peacocking. Sometimes a character body might have the center of energy in their stomach, and that could be for a number of reasons, but it causes them to have their gut coming out, or maybe not have very tight muscles around their core by choice, or have their belly flopping forward as they're walking. Some people might have it in their toes, where they're leading the whole way with their feet. Every time they take a step, you could kind of see their feet push forward. And each one of those is different and makes you, the actor, and you, the character, feel differently. Now remember, there's no right or wrong center of energy. You as the actor get to decide that based on what feels right to you. So here's my process for it. Obviously, we read the play. Then we do our detective work. Point of view, history, sociology, whatever affects the character in this world. Then I, of course, get that picture of what their character body might be, but that doesn't give me everything. So I start exploring the different words that the character says in different centers of energy and seeing how that feels. I usually start with one scene in the beginning and then one scene towards the climax of the character to see how they might have evolved throughout the play. So just because a character's center of energy starts maybe at the head in the beginning of the play, as they grow more confident, it might move to the chest. And that's important for you as the actor to know, because when you shift your center of energy during your performance, even if the people watching don't necessarily get what you did or how it's different, they will feel the difference in your performance. And that's really what we're going for. So let's start by taking the first scene of the play that involves your character. We've already explored point of view. Now we've already done objective, tactics, obstacles. Those things never change. But now take the words and try different parts of your body as the center of energy and see what feels right. Maybe it's a melancholy scene, so a center of energy that makes you feel more melancholy might be the way to go. But you will never know unless you try. So you have the words, and now you're about to walk around the room. You can even hold the script in your hand and walk around the room with different centers of energy. Head, chest, chin, stomach, hips, feet, whatever you want. Try different things. Always start more cartoonish and then work your way more to natural. It is way easier to go too far and pull yourself back than it is to try to gradually work your way up. Not sure why that is, but it is true. You have your play in your hand, you chose a center of energy, and you're walking about the room. Start off cartoonishly big. If you want to start at the forehead, then really lead the way with the forehead and then start slowly naturalizing it until it's a normal physical body, something that we would see in the real world, but with the center of energy still being the head. If the head doesn't work, try something else. The chin, the chest, the stomach, the hips, the feet. You don't have to go in that order. You could go in whichever order you want, and anything could be your center of energy. Try different things. Figuring out what the center of energy in the first scene is pivotal. The way that you walk on stage, the way that you show your opinions about everything, the way your body is placed, gives the audience all of the backstory from everything that happened in the character's life up until that point. The play or the film doesn't have the time to do that, so that's your job as the actor to take care of. So don't take scenes that are mostly exposition or towards the beginning of the play lightly just because they don't have all those emotional parts that we as actors really enjoy. Once you've taken the time and really figured out what the center of energy is, walk about the room without the lines for a while, keeping that center of energy, and see how that makes you feel. A different center of energy from your own will make you feel different as an actor. Our bodies dictate what our emotions feel and vice versa. It's all one loop. After you've walked around and you've seen how this center of energy make you feel, does that feeling feel right for the character? No one can answer this question except you. But you're not going to be able to answer this question unless you've really put some time and thought into it. Now, once you're done with scene one, find the scene that's the climax for your character. Don't worry about acting for performance. Right now, we're really just trying to figure out what's happening with the character. So you have your play in your hand, and you're reading the lines that are the climax for the character. Note to yourself and write it down. What's different about the character from the beginning of the play to now? What has changed? If you don't know what's changed in your character, or at least have an idea of it, you're not ready to really go into rehearsal. Rehearsal is all about figuring out what your game plan is and making it as sharp as possible. It's not full discovery as if you've never read the play. You should already know a good amount about your character before you walk in. We're at the climax now. You got a good sense of where the character came from and what has changed in them to get them to this point. Now it's time to start walking around the room and figuring out which center of energy is right for your character now. Now that they've grown, now that they've changed, what is different in their character body? If your first scene was a mopey character with your head down, try something different. Had they grown to become more confident, then maybe try the chest center of energy. Have they gone from energetic to tired? Maybe try going from the chest to the stomach center of energy. As I said before, it's up to you. But find what's different in the way your character moves through the world and the energy in which they move. Now you have a piece of your character in the beginning, and you have a piece of your character at the end. This is a great place to start exploring what the rest of your character body is. Now you're in a great place to start your rehearsals, because now not only do you have a little bit of what the character body might be, but you also have part of the character's journey in your body. Before you've ever walked in, you have an idea of where your character came from, where they started the play, and where they are once they've grown or changed. And that's huge. Next video, we'll go into the final part and part 3 of character body. How do we take the information we have, the cerebral of the way we've broken down the character, and the physical, how we've broken down the character from the start to the climax of the play for them. The next video is going to be covering how do we practice getting the rest of our body into that character body. I hope you all enjoyed that video. Hit the like button if you haven't already, subscribe if you want to see more, and feel free to comment and let us know what your process is, so that way we could share more knowledge. This is Hatter. He's one of my new fosters. He came with another cat named Cheshire, so Cheshire and Hatter. When we first got these babies, they were so scared because they were rescued late off the street after their socialization period. And now he cuddles me all the time. Say goodbye, Hatter. Goodbye, Hatter. He's so cute.